Mr. Barr, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Brownlee, and thank you for holding this hearing to shine a light on the serious problems that we've experienced in the rollout of the IT systems associated with the family caregiving program. And as I sit here and I listen to the testimony here today, I can't help think about the veterans I have a privilege to represent and what they would think if they were sitting here listening to this today. And unfortunately, excuse me if this sounds harsh, I know these men and women, and I think if they were sitting here today listening to this, they would say, wow, this is a program that is replete with waste, mismanagement, and poor performance. And that's harsh, and I'm sorry to have to say that, but I know the veterans I represent, and I think they would be very disappointed to hear that after 8 years and 3 failed efforts and scrapping of cat rescue and CARE-T after an initial round with cat, and now moving into karma with no end in sight, and millions of dollars of taxpayer investment now totally a sunk cost, I think our veterans would be extremely disappointed. And by the way, not just those pre-9/11 veterans who are now supposed to be eligible but can't access the services that Congress intended to provide for them, but I also worry about the post-9/11 veterans and their caregivers who I'm not sure they're getting the services that they have earned either. And so let me first ask that question. And let me stipulate up front, you all are the experts. I am not an IT expert, so I'll defer to your expertise. But I want to know for the post 9/11 veterans and their caregivers, how has this repeated failed effort to implement the IT systems, how has that lack of capability impacted the post 9/11 veterans and their caregivers? And I'll start with Dr. Lieberman on that point.
It has really not had an impact. The program has been successful. Certainly, it would be more helpful for us to have better data reporting, analysis of how the program is going. But we are still enrolling veterans. We're still getting applications, and we're still enrolling veterans. And we are, based upon having caregiver support coordinators at each facility, putting a lead in our networks. We're keeping a close eye on how the program is going, and we are making sure that our caregivers are getting the services that they need to serve their veterans.
Well, I certainly hope that is true, especially with the initial round of veterans who are supposed to be getting these services. But Dr. Lieberman, as a follow-up, let's talk about the Mission Act and the rest of the veterans, the pre-9/11 veterans who are supposed to be receiving these services. And I want to be absolutely sure I understand this. Is it accurate that it's necessary to complete Phase 3 of the karma system, before the family caregiver program can expand?
That is correct.
Okay, so that's the group that's really being negatively impacted by all of these delays and these failed efforts. Is that a fair characterization?
Yes, the pre-9/11.
Okay. Let me ask you this. The karma is going to be an off the shelf application. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't we, and the VA in general has moved to an off-the-shelf, commercial off-the-shelf IT mentality, Dr. Constantian. Why didn't we have that approach to begin with? Why didn't we use that approach to begin with?
Congressman, in retrospect, maybe we should have, but in 2015, so where we were in 2011 was a product was very quickly built to conform with the 2010 legislation that provides some kind of IT support in 2011. That was CAT. So in 2015, with CAT Rescue, which was a short-term fix of some of the shortcomings of CAT, and then CARE-T, we went down what in 2015 was our sort of normal operating procedure, which was to do custom development. In 2017, After we did not have the database that the original contractor, Mantech for CareT, needed to continue, we awarded a contract to Able Vets, but based on taking over the Mantech solution. So the 2015 decision on how to do the solution sort of stayed with us until early 2019 when we moved to sales.
My time has expired, but I do worry that Ms. Harrison, the GAO, is telling us that the VA lacks the competency and experience to acquire these commercial products. So I do hope the commercial off-the-shelf, the move to that is better than the previous efforts. I yield back.